Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I have this really cool box for Wolverine boots. Yes, and these are work boots from Wolverine called Overpass. And they are very popular work boots on Amazon. Over 1,100 reviews. Almost 5 stars. Yeah, people definitely do like them. Currently at $145. The link is in the description below, so check it out. The prices do vary on Amazon as usual, but overall I am very impressed with the comfort level. I am very impressed with all of the protection that these boots do offer. They are true to the size. I do have a few minor complaints regarding the outsole, but you will have to stick around in order to find out what those complaints are. So let's get into the review. As some of you already know, this review specifically for my ultimate survival boots section. Basically, if these were your last boots, you put them on for work and you were at work doing your shift and something bad happened, natural disaster, war, catastrophe, whatever. 2020 has been a pretty crazy year and it's not over yet. So we don't know what's gonna happen, but it's been pretty crazy and your imagination, your survival imagination probably enriched, right? So think about whatever you want. And these are the boots that you were wearing. Would this be a good boot to survive in? If you had to run, if you had to climb, fight, do whatever that is necessary for your survival. So how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's start with criteria number 1, of course, the comfort level. Yes. So how do I test the comfort level of the boots on this channel? I do a 3-mile run without stopping. Yes, it's even if it's a big bulky work boot, yes, I still do that. And a 5-mile walk right after the 3-mile run, again without stopping, no breaks in between. It's really hard sometimes, yes. And then I wear it for the rest of the day. The total wear time is between 7 and 8 hours, so full shift pretty much. And like I said, I am very impressed with the comfort level of this boot. Let's get a few things out of the way, right? A few factors there that contribute and take away from the comfort. First one, of course, is the weight. And the weight of this boot is, let me tell you exactly, as you would expect, bulky boot, full size, on the heavier side with the very, very thick outsole. You would expect it to be pretty heavy. So what do we have? We have 29.1, and it is definitely on the heavier side, and of course that bulkiness takes away from the comfort level. Now usually I explain, kind of give you a reference point. If you want a boot that you want to be able to run and walk for extended periods of time without getting fatigued from the weight of the boot. You will get fatigued, obviously, if you're running. Eventually you will get fatigued because it's hard, right? But from the weight of the boot, you want something that is under 20 ounce. These are 29, so almost 30, so definitely on the heavier side. You will get, and I mean, after about a mile, I was already pretty exhausted running in this. But don't discredit them just yet, because there are a few contributing factors to the comfort level. And let me get to my favorite part. My favorite part here is the inner sole. And let me take it out so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I think this is one of the best inner soles that I have seen so far in a work boot. Just look at that. First of all, it's an ortholite inner sole, which is, if you know it, it's one of those inner soles that has that special wickering fabric that gives the antibacterial properties to the inner sole. So if you're sweating, and it's really helpful if you're walking around all day in a boot, in a work boot, obviously you will, at least 8 hours. This is very, very helpful. But there are a few other things that I wanted to point out here. Look at that cushioning. It is so good in the heel right here. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. The way it's done is very smart. Like I said, it's one of the best inner soles in the work boot that I have had a chance to test on this channel. But besides the cushioning, you can also see the shaping that is going on. First of all, there's a nice heel bed that will give you a good support. And also, there's this performance arch support, which definitely does give you a very, very good arch support. Really, one of the best inner soles. I absolutely love it. And let's get into inside of the boot, because we're not done with the comfort level. Once you remove the inner sole, just to point it out, there's nothing else. There are no more layers of cushioning on the inside. However, you do have plenty of cushioning here in the shaft, on the tongue, and going all the way inside of the toe box. Now, keep in mind, this toe box is more on the spacious side. So if you're one of those people like myself that likes a tighter toe box that holds your foot in place, this is not the boot you want. But if you do like spacious toe box, you're gonna appreciate this boot. And besides being spacious, it also has a decent amount of cushioning, which is very important because this is, by the way, a composite toe. So very important to have decent cushioning, and these boots definitely provide that. I do like that fact. Another factor that contributes or takes away from the comfort level is the flexibility of the bottom sole. And surprisingly, this is not bad actually. I mean, it's definitely on the stiffer side, the outsole. But I mean, look how huge, bulky it is. But even for being this bulky, it is still on more or less flexible side, and that definitely contributes to the comfort level as well. But let's be done with the comfort level. Let's move on to the number 2, proofing and protection. And obviously, as you would imagine, these boots definitely do shine whenever it comes to proofing and protection. All right, let's start with everything. First of all, waterproof. Yes. Nothing fancy, not Gore-Tex or anything like that, no fancy waterproofing technology, but still does the job without any problems. And you have already noticed the gusseted tongue, which gives you, let me tell you exactly, almost 6 inches, which is very good. So Wolverine, they utilize pretty much the full size of the shaft here for the waterproofing. Great job there. Obviously, I have already mentioned the composite toe, which goes up to about, well, let me tell you exactly, why not, right? It's about 2.5 inches, which is great. Again, very good job. Of course, you have a lot of protection from the bottom. If you step on anything sharp, you will have, because this rubber is very tough, and there is a very nice layer of it. 1.5 inches in the heel and about 1/2 inch at the front. Pretty good. And of course, you do have a 100% leather going around the boot, giving you all of these protections. Composite toe, reinforced heel, and of course in the ankles you do have some padding here, so you will have a sufficient amount of protection in the ankles as well. Great job there, Wolverine. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, Wolverine is a very popular boot brand. Obviously, you can judge by the reviews. By the way, the link is in the description below. Go check it out. Over 1,100 reviews, almost 5 stars. That's very impressive. That's a lot. So people do like these boots. And whenever it comes to the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Here, I do like the lacing system. Nothing really special. 4 close hooks, plastic, heavy duty plastic. So the strings, the 6 strings, which I do like a lot, they slide through these hooks very easily, right? And then you have 2 open hooks, which I think is a good plus. I personally like open hooks. They make it easy to set the tension in the shaft, and they also, if you can see, they sort of lock in place, which makes it easier to put on and take off this boot. Overall, pretty good job there, Wolverine. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, the outsole. Traction and stability, and this is one of the criterions. Jeez, one of those. Is where I have a little bit of a problem with this boot. Okay, so whenever I do my running and walking, I do the test on a variety of different surfaces, starting from older asphalt, newer tarmac, going to the dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, and some trail surface, and then of course I finish up with some shiny, slippery surfaces like marble and tile. So these boots, even though they are oil and slip resistant, and even though they are supposed to be very stable on shiny, slippery surfaces, I found them a little bit on the slippery side whenever it comes to shiny, slippery surfaces, which is kind of contradicting to itself. Not very good. Also, because there isn't really any aggression, they are definitely very slippery on surfaces like wet grass, for example. They perform fine on sandy surfaces because there isn't really any aggression, so there is no grooves where the sand would get stuck. Obviously, walking through concrete, asphalt and tarmac, nothing special there. Rocky road, because they are so thick, you don't really feel anything, so pretty good over there. But slippery surfaces, not very good. Marble and tile, not very good either, surprisingly, because these are supposed to be oil and slip resistant, and oil slip resistant boots, usually they are, well, the idea is they're supposed to perform good on shiny, slippery surfaces. But that's the way it is. Now, if you are wondering about the surfaces like snow and ice, I definitely would not recommend these boots. Not for snow, not for ice. They definitely 100% will be very, very slippery on those surfaces. Keep that in mind. All right, let's move on to the criterion number 5 now, temperature. Now, obviously, this is not a winter boot by no means. There's no insulation or anything like that. Plus, like I said, on snow, ice, they're not gonna perform very well. Now, for temperatures, you can get away with some insulated socks. You can get away with some colder temperatures. Plus, they are waterproof, so more or less. But keep in mind, on ice and snow, they will be very slippery. For hot temperatures, which is where I tested them here in Florida. It was about 95 degrees outside whenever I was doing my run. They're definitely on a warmer side, right? As you would expect, with all the protection that you get, with all the leather, with all the waterproofing. Of course, they are on the warmer side. But nevertheless, still not too bad. And of course, it helps to have an ortholite. So overall, I think pretty good balance there. Let's move on to the criterion number 6 really quickly. The sizing. These boots definitely run true to the size. Now, I always recommend in all my reviews for you guys to get half a size bigger than your boots, right? Than your typical sneakers or dress shoes, whatever you have. It does help whenever it comes to having a little bit of extra space here in the toe box, and it can save you from a lot of unnecessary fatigue. So if you are getting the exact size boot, or even a little bit smaller, which sometimes it happens, you do get fatigued very, very quickly. Not good, believe me. So get yourself half a size bigger. Let's move on to the criterion number 7 now, the balance of application. So if this really was the ultimate survival boot for you, you were wearing it, you were at work and something bad happened, I don't know, catastrophe, natural disaster, whatever, and you had to now walk, run, fight on the way, climb, do whatever is necessary to survive, would this be a good boot? I think comfort-wise, if you prefer to have all of this protection, all of this waterproofing, composite toe protection here, everywhere, right? You will appreciate this boot because they are comfortable and they do offer a lot of protection. I just really wish that Wolverine done a little bit of a better job with the outsole. This is really one of my main complaints with the boot. It's the outsole. I wish there was a little bit better job, a little bit better design whenever it comes to the outsole to give it a little bit more versatility, first of all, and also to perform better on slippery and shiny surfaces, because after all, this is what they have been designed to do. So they have to do that. So Wolverine, I hope to see an Overpass 2.0 where the outsole is upgraded to perform better on slippery and shiny surfaces. All right, but if you just want a good boot, if there are no slippery, shiny surfaces involved, and if you want a good work boot with good protection with a composite toe that is very comfortable, great option. Now, Brings me to the last criterion here, the criterion number 8, which is the price. Now, the price currently on Amazon is $145. Like I said, the link is in the description below if you want to check, because prices do change, and depending on the price, depending on the size, the price might be different as well. I think it is a pretty good price for everything that you're getting, for 100% leather, for all of these protection, composite toe, and overall comfort. I think that's a pretty good price. There are a few other options out there that you might want to check out in that price range. In fact, I have done some boot reviews, some work boot reviews on this channel. I've done a lot of them. So check out those options as well. Maybe you will find something that suits you a little bit better. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about these boots. Would you consider them as your ultimate survival boots, or would you get them as your main work boot? Let me know in the comments below if you have any requests. I always look out for those. If I can come around something that is available and it has been requested, I do it as the priority. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.